Hello, tiny humans. Hopefully you have your packet with you. We are working on the pink page today. So today and over the next 3 activities, we are going to look at evidence to determine if Mansa Musa was the richest person in history. Okay? We today on our pink paper are going to read a text and then answer questions. Both of these are on the pink paper. So you've got the text and the questions. Yes, you get that? Okay, you've got this. You're good. You're fine. So what we are going to do first, my wonderful human beings, we are not going to jump into the text. We are going to start by reading the questions. When we read the questions first, we know what we are going to be looking for as we read the text. This is a very good test-taking strategy. Always read the questions first so you know what you're looking for. So we have 4 questions for this document. Question 1, who created this blog post? When was it created? And why do you think it was written? Should be pretty simple. Question 2, close reading. What was the main point of the blog post? Identify its main claim. Hopefully will be pretty simple. Number 3, close reading. Find 2 pieces of evidence it uses to support its claims. Copy them below and underline them in the text. And then number 4, do you think the information in this blog post is trustworthy? Why or why not? So now that we know what we're looking for, let's go ahead and go to the text. Follow along with me either on your paper or on the screen. Document A, blog post. The following is an excerpt from a blog post that appeared in the Huffington Post on October 17, 2012. It describes a study on the wealthiest people in world history done by Brian Warner, the founder of Celebrity Net Worth, an online publication that investigates the lifestyles of the rich and famous. Ooh, that answers question number 1. Question number 1 asked, who created this post? When was it created? And why do you think it was written? So we are going to answer. We are going to use the races strategy. Restate and answer, and we'll do that first. So instead of who created this blog post, we'll say this blog post was created by, gosh, I've already forgotten. Let me look at my paper. Let me look at the document. Blog post that appeared in the Huffington Post on October 17th, 2012. So this blog post was created by the Huffington Post, period. When was it created? We just read that. Using our races, we're going to restate an answer. It was created on October 17th, 2012. And why do you think it was written? It tells us in the text. It describes a study on the wealthiest people in world history done by Brian Warner, the founder of Celebrity Net Worth, an online publication that investigates the lifestyles of the rich and famous. So it was done to describe a study on the wealthiest people in human history. I'm lazy. I'm just going to copy that. And I'm going to say it was written to describe a study on the wealthiest people in the world history. Now, I have copied evidence, so what do I have to do? Thank you. I'm going to cite it. This is the introduction paragraph. Introduction paragraph. There we go. I have completely answered question number 1 before I even read the text. Number 2, what is the main point of the blog post? Identify its main claim. Gosh, we can't do that. We haven't read it. So let's go back to the text. Follow along with me. Mansa Musa of Mali, named world's richest man of all time. Gates and Buffett also make the list. You've probably never heard of him, but Mansa Musa is the richest person ever. That's their claim. That's what the entire article is going to be about. That's what they are going to try and prove. Your claim is always at the beginning of your essay, so this is obviously their claim. So going back to my back to my questions, I'm going to say the main point of this blog post is to prove that Mansa Musa was the richest man ever. So that's the point. Now its main claim, we're going to go back to the text and we are going to just copy it. Mansa Musa is the richest person ever. We're going to copy. Make your life easy here, friends, and number your paragraphs. This is paragraph number 1, paragraph number 2, number 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so we have copied their claim, and we are going to say the main claim is, and since I am quoting directly from the text, I'm going to use quotation marks. Mansa Musa is the richest person ever. Quotation marks, and my paragraph citation. We got that from paragraph number 1. Look at that. We have answered half of the questions reading 2 paragraphs. Do you see why it's so important to read the questions first? Okay. Number 3, find 2 pieces of evidence it uses to support its claim. We will copy them and underline them in the text. Okay, we can do that. So we have the claim, now we have to find the evidence that supports it. Paragraph 2. The 14th century emperor from West Africa was worth a staggering $400 billion after adjusting for inflation, as calculated by Celebrity Net Worth. To put that number into perspective, if that's even possible, net worth calculations mean Musa's fortune far outstrips that of the current world's richest man, Carlos Slim Elu, and family. 2 things here. Number 1, this blog post was written in 2012, remember. In 2020, Carlos Slim, not even top 10 of richest people in the world. The number 1 richest person in the world in 2020 is Jeff Bezos, the founder and owner of Amazon, and he is worth $183 billion, way less than Mansa Musa's $400 billion. And when a word is bold, like the word outstrips, that means the definition is down at the bottom. So outstrips means exceeds. Continuing on. According to the Encyclopedia Britannica, when Musa died sometime in the 1330s, he left behind an empire filled with palaces and mosques, some of which still stand today. But the emperor really turned historic heads for the over-the-top extravagances of his 1327 pilgrimage to Mecca. The trip, which he embarked upon during the 17th year of the monarch's glittering reign, so 17 years into him being king, was hosted by the leaders of both Mecca and Cairo, and apparently was so brilliant it almost put Africa's sun to shame. Musa's wealth was a result of his country's vast natural resources. The West African nation was responsible for more than half of the world's salt and gold supply, according to net worth. Of course, the entry also notes that the fortune was also fleeting, meaning that it was gone really quickly. Just 2 generations later, his net worth was gone, wasted by invaders and infighting. So, going back to my questions, I need 2 pieces of evidence that the text uses to support the claim that Mansa Musa was the richest man ever. So, in the text, I'm looking for things that show wealth and money and riches. Plain and simple, we'll say the 14th century We'll just say that first sentence in paragraph 2. So I'm copying it because I'm working on the computer, but you are pausing the video and you are actually copying this down. I'm going to paste it there. I'm using quotation marks because quotation marks show that this is not my information. This is information that I am getting directly from a different source, and I'm citing where I got that evidence. Paragraph, what paragraph number is that? 1, 2, paragraph 2. From here, my wonderful human beings, I'm going to go back to the text. I'm going to underline this on my paper. I'm going to actually take my pen and underline what I just copied down. Now I'm going to give you a moment to look through the rest of these other 3 paragraphs and find another piece of evidence, a second piece of evidence that supports the claim that Mansa Musa was the richest man ever. And then after you've done that, of course, you're underlining it in the text. You've paused the video because you need more time. I'm going really fast. Number 4, our last question for this activity. Do you think the information in this blog post is trustworthy? Why or why not? Here is where the ES in your erases come in. This is an opinion. When it asks, do you think, it's asking your opinion. The only way your opinion can be wrong is if you don't back it up with evidence and reasoning. So you need to explain. You have your evidence right here. You need your reasoning down here. So you are either going to say, I think because I'm restating the question, I think the information in this blog post is trustworthy because, and you're going to explain your reasoning, or I think the information in this blog post is not trustworthy because, and you're going to finish that sentence. I do not care which way you go. I really, truly do not. What I do care is that you have restated the question, you have answered the question, you are citing evidence with your evidence and citations, and you are explaining and summing up your opinion. Okay? My wonderful human beings, if you have questions, ask me, email me, contact me in any way. If you need help, let me know. Go Vikings.